Language learners are very focused on listening, they're focused on speaking, they're focused on reading, but there's one piece of the equation I think is often overlooked, and that is writing. Not very many people put an emphasis on it, and when I say writing, I'm not really talking about putting a pen to paper. Like in Chinese, I don't mean by this practicing writing the characters. What I mean is writing out text in the language, whether it's typing, just putting words down, whether digitally or on paper, and making more sophisticated, sentences. What I've realized is that when I studied Chinese in class, when I was a student, every couple weeks, every week, every 2 weeks, there would be writing assignments. And in those writing assignments, the professors or instructors, they had us include the vocabulary that we were learning for that week, or the sentence patterns, if there's a certain grammatical thing that they wanted us to learn that week. We would be required to include a certain amount of these in our writing. And what I realized is that it would bleed into my speaking then. Because when you make that output, when you put these words down, these ideas, but do it yourself, not from an input standpoint, but from an output standpoint. When you're able to output via writing, it's easier to seep into your speaking. So what I realized is that when I spoke then, I was able to use these different grammar patterns, these different words, more appropriately and more fluently. And writing is often overlooked, but the benefit of writing is that you can take your time and make stuff sound nicer. Like when I'm texting with my friends in English, I think when I type like a text, I use more sophisticated words than I do when I speak to them. Because I'm able to sit there and think, how do I want to word this? Or if I'm writing an email, whatever it may be, written speech tends to be more higher level speech compared to what is presented orally, what you speak with your mouth. And I think writing is overlooked, but a lot more language learners should consider that and should try to write out their thoughts, put it down on paper, and include different words they're learning, try to get experimental with different grammar. And that's a really good way to hone in on the stuff that you're learning. So I would say it might seem worthless to write stuff. Maybe you're thinking, I just want to learn how to go to my target language's country and talk to locals. But you're missing out on a lot if you don't learn how to write. Because if you learn how to write, your thoughts will be more coherent, things will flow together better, and overall I think it will increase your fluency. And the reason I thought of this is because it's already been a couple years since I've been a student of these languages, and I still speak Chinese verbally, spoken, quite frequently. But I've realized that I feel like the sophistication of the way I speak has gotten worse, even though I've been doing more speaking than when I was a student. And I think I can attribute this, upon reflection, to lack of writing. And kind of on a segue, kind of related, Anki is a very widespread, widely used program to learn languages. And it's good, it has spaced repetition. But if you look at that software, it's kind of old-fashioned, it's not very sophisticated. And upon this reflection and seeing how AI is a useful tool for learning in general, I created Fluent Space. So it takes some of the best parts of Anki, the spaced repetition, but it makes it more dynamic, it makes it more immersive, and you can go ahead and try it out. It's called fluentpace.app. You can find the link in the description. There's a free tier and a paid tier, and let me know what you think, if there's any adjustments to it, because I just made it very recently. And if there's any user experience things that you think could be changed, just leave a comment and I'll be sure to work on adding those features and functionality.